Drake disses Kendrick Lamar, a new freestyle. Who's surprised, man? Who's surprised on what the 69 guy got to do? You know what I mean? Got to say? You know what I mean? He's clearly spiraling. It is what it is. It's January, still on the same thing. And the best part is, I'm pretty sure it's gonna come to a point where, you know what I mean, he's gonna realize, all right, maybe I should really disappear. And then he'll actually take his vacation. But yo, I'm pretty sure he got like a tour that he's doing on the same time that the Super Bowl is going down. So he's still gonna be in the public eye, obviously. And hey, is what it is. Maybe this is the beginning of his rollout, the whole freestyle that he just did. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know what he's doing with, I don't know what angle he's trying to take with it, but it was lame, it was whack. Okay, we get it, people switched up. Like, it's the same repetitive thing he's been talking about this whole career, which is why I didn't react to it. I'm sorry, I was gonna react to it, but I was like, bro, I seen the comments and that's all I had to say. Like, that's all I needed to know. I knew it wasn't people just hating on Drake, because I'm over here liking both artists. I actually fuck with both artists. That's a thing. But yeah, nothing has been hidden besides circadian rhythms, bro. That and No Face is okay. But let's see what this man Rapaholics gotta say about Clock In. I'm not gonna watch this whole video. You can watch the original video in the link in the description, but I'm just gonna check out what he gotta say partially, you know what I'm saying?
The kick streamer, Lawbry, Fraudbry, Drizzy Steak Drake Graham has decided to come back to hip hop, and he is sad, ladies and gentlemen. He is sad. You know, Kendrick called him a fan, F-A-N. I'm gonna be calling him S-A-D, Sad Boy Drizzy, and the SAD stands for Spiraling Actor Drake.
The famous actor we once knew is looking paranoid and now spiraling.
Because that's unfortunately what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. A spiraling actor who last week got paid millions of dollars to act all holly and jolly on a kick stream, guzzling down margarita after margarita with his, as he calls him, bestie Aiden Ross, to just a week later putting back on that mob boss persona, reflecting on his life and the...
That's another thing, man. It looks weird. It looks really corny. Think about it. 1 second, if he did this a little bit after that whole stream, like, this man, there was no space between it. It just looked corny and dumb. I'm sorry, who's really paying attention to this? Is you? I'm sorry. I don't. All I know is, bro, the more he does this, we already know where things are headed, bro. And if you think it's not true, then okay. Whatever though, man.
The summer that he just had, giving us some insight into his perspective on the beef, where he stands with some of his quote-unquote brothers. Keep in mind, last week he was calling Aiden Ross his brother, and just a couple years ago he said there was no friends in the industry. So I'm not really sure how genuine these brotherhoods really are, but one of the boldest claims he made on this new record, after guzzling a myriad of martinis when he was a kick streamer last week with Aiden Ross, this week he's Tony Soprano, and he claims he doesn't have a drinking problem. Now, we're gonna break down all the bars in this record. I've been saying I want to see Drake in a more vulnerable, reflective state, and he's definitely giving that to us here, but it's behind this lens. And I'm not saying that because this freestyle was given to us as Drake rapping behind a camcorder. I mean that after all these years of making music, Drake still struggles with actually giving us the real him. That's why I'm calling him the SAD, Spiraling Actor Drizzy, because he's letting us know he's sad here. He's definitely sad, right? Talking about, you know, this stuff was personal to us, it wasn't just business, or people were never happy for me when I ran up the digits. Like, he's opening up about feeling underappreciated, backstabbed by his brothers, not having the summer or the overall narrative go in his favor. Again, we're going to touch on all the bars shortly in this video, but yeah, he's definitely sad. You could definitely tell that there is some sorrow in his voice, and he's kind of opening up in that sense, letting us know he's frustrated, but he's doing this all through the persona of this macho, mafioso, untouchable warlord, talking about crashing out with his brothers, putting a pipe bomb in someone's trunk, threatening anyone who messes with his family that he'll crash out so hard over it he'll be sent to prison. But the irony writes itself in the bars. Like, the final bars of this record are, who put a pipe bomb in your trunk? It was an exhibit. I'm trying to blow the doors off when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this stuff come to fruition. It's like as if after sending all these threats, he's got to remember, like, oh, who was that young kid in Toronto raised by his Jewish mother in the suburbs crying over tuna sandwiches? Like, yeah, maybe he does really believe at this point that he is this larger than life mafia boss that he's kind of painted himself to be for the last 7 years. But by the end of this verse, he even has to remind himself who made this stuff come to fruition. At the end of the day, right now, he's just a sad actor spiraling. All this tough talk isn't truly him, but it's that tough front that he puts on that restricts Drake from actually being relatable at this point in his life and his career. There's not one point in this song where you feel like he's even in touch with the narrative being painted against him, who's really for or against him, what his next move should be. And in a lot of ways, this current Drake, this Drake rapping on this new freestyle reminds me of the character Tony Soprano. Not because Drake really is that tough mafia boss like Tony was, but by the end of The Sopranos, Tony ended up paranoid that everyone was out to get him. He had a lot of people who respected him and worked under him, but as his wife Carmela puts it, he had no real friends. Everyone laughed at his jokes. Everyone kissed his butt because he was the boss. They had to.
And they just kept, yo, that's real, man. Kind of crazy where Drake is at right now. And how he just like, I don't know, he just don't got real around him at all. Like, it's just surrounded by fake or just people just gaslighting. That type of situation, who else is in that situation? There's a few people that are in that situation. You probably know people in your life, you feel me? And it's like, you really need a real one to tell them, yo, you're going about this all wrong, bro. I thought 50 would have actually told this man, like, yo, you gotta really, you know what I'm saying? But I guess not. 50's been doing his own flip-flopping thing, but you know what I'm saying? It's this freestyle coming right after, like what you said before, like right after that stream, it doesn't seem genuine. Just seems forced, man. Just seems forced.
He had the power, but the power, the money, the notoriety, the backstabbing from the people within his inner circle drove Tony to only care about money and power and lose his ability to heal, look within, reflect, grow as a person. No matter how many sessions he had with his therapist, he was never actually able to make progress and break out of that toxic life of crime that he was a part of. And it's very similar with Drake's situation, which is ironic because he's always painting himself to be this mafia figure. And maybe that's why I'm using Tony as an example. If you've never watched The Sopranos, then I'm sorry for this whole rant, but do yourself a favor and watch The Sopranos. But yeah, it seems like...
Yeah, watch that, man. Watch it for real. I want to skip this section. I want to go to the other sections. You can, again, watch the whole video in the description. But yeah, let's go to why Drake always using the same flow. Hey, yo, something I picked out as soon as I listened to it. Like, it sounded like the hard part 6 where he kept on using the same suffix, the same flow. It's just so boring. It's so boring, man. I was honestly bored. Like, this is not a freestyle. That's how you know this man cannot freestyle. Bro, there's a video online of him freestyling like years ago. Anyone that's seen that, you think he just got better over time and started? Nah, you didn't see him in any besides what On the Radar. You think he actually, like, come on, had that shit written up, bro. But yeah.
Really exhausting to hear Drake not only uphold this character, but use the same flows, the same cadence, the same rhyme scheme that we've heard from him for so many years now. And I really did not want to make this a Drake hate video, but when this came out, man, was I disappointed, because Drake has given us so many amazing vulnerable records early on in his career. You and the Six, or Look What You've Done, talking about his tough relationship with his mother and the inspiration that she gave him. Songs like From Time or Marvin's Room, opening up on the vulnerabilities of some of his relationships, and more importantly, putting a magnifying glass on the mistakes he's made throughout those relationships. Or even touching on themes that are present in this song, like when he raps, "People were never happy for me when I ran up the digits." He touched on his shortcomings as a man dealing with fame in a much more mature way when he was a lot younger, ironically, on songs like The Ride or Successful. He's even done the mob boss persona better on tracks like Pound Cake, which was over 10 years ago back in 2013. But that's the problem. It's not just that Drake was a little more honest with himself back then, not playing this character, so it was a lot easier for him to open up and be more flexible in the subject matter or the introspection within his lyrics, but it was also the fact that back then he seemed a lot more inspired creatively. Like, I'm not going to play you this track because UMG already took it down off YouTube. I don't know how he even...
Literally everyone in anything, they're always going to be way more... Like, I just did the Ice Spice reaction to her new On the Radar freestyle, her first one, and then I did the new one, you know what I'm saying? And you could see the difference. You can tell. You're more ambitious when you're first coming up. That's why I like all these other people. They always say the first songs, their first albums are usually their classic. It's just the way it is, but also you can make a classic at the end of your career, which is like, who's a rapper that I don't think a rapper has ever, besides, I say like the person that's ever got close to dropping like a really, really good album after they've already had their run. There's really like, y'all gotta help me out with this one. I'm thinking Jay-Z and no one else, to be honest. Maybe Nas. But even, yeah, nah, I don't even know. It's really not that many. Kind of crazy to think about, man.
Was able to release this with this whole petition thing that he has going on with UMG. But I'm not trying to have this copyright stricken. So me and you are going to rap the bars together as we break them down shortly in this video. But I just want to rap this song to you in the cadence Drake uses, and then rap a couple other Drake songs that he's released over the last few years, and you'll see how disgustingly similar, how recycled, how he's blatantly been scamming his audience by using the exact same flow, the exact same delivery every single time he does these type of timestamp records in the last 5 to 10 years. And I want to preface again, yes, this is kind of a Drake hate video, but this is coming from someone who was championing Drake so hard in his early career. As a fellow Canadian, I'm not
gonna lie, this guy Rapperholic, this is why I always go to his videos. Like, I don't go to anyone that's really biased. You know what I mean? There's people out there, like, I'm not trying to throw shade, but Fantastic Hip Hop, he's hella biased to Kendrick. That nigga, he hates Drake. But if you go to Rapperholics, like, if you've been watching him, then you know he's giving credit to Drake where credit was due. And it was like, that's made me really mess with him because I like both artists. I do like both artists. I like Kendrick way more, right? You know what I mean? He still got that music. I just want him to, you know what I mean, get out his feelings, bro. Get out his feelings and actually drop some good music. That's all I want, man. All I want, bro. But he's not doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm reacting to Rapperholics, bro. Shout out to you.
so happy hearing Drake.
And he's also Canadian. I think he said that.
Drake so hard in his early career. As a fellow Canadian, I was so happy hearing Drake on hip-hop radio stations back in 2009 with a unique sound merging R&B and hip-hop, taking on the role of T-Pain, who at the time was dominating the charts with his infectious melodic auto-tune hooks, and merging that with the bars that were inspired by his mentor Lil Wayne. It was inspiring to see him put Canada on the map within mainstream hip-hop with such an unprecedented sound early on, but as an early fan, I just grew more and more frustrated with A, the caricatures that Drake now plays, and B, the downshift of creative drive that has stemmed from his latest music. So his new song Fighting Irish, this is how it goes. The summer is over, I missed it, barrel with smoke and I kissed it, Ferris showed us the renders for Texas, it's unrealistic. Now I'm gonna play you a couple seconds of a few different songs from the last few years where you'll see he's constantly using this same exact delivery, and it's not just that the flows are recycled, it's that every single song has this same kind of low tempo tone.
We skiing out in Courchevel. Breaking news, they try to kill him, but the boy prevails. She got a thing for Chanel vintage that dropped before she could speak English. Diamonds and violence made us bond, we grew closer.
So yeah, maybe I'm reaching, but I don't know. To me, it sounds like he's half asleep on...
I want to say... I say that's a little bit of a reach, but I definitely agree that he's definitely used the same flow. I think what people like about Drake is his voice and the way he raps. You know what I mean? The way he raps, the content that he raps about, everything like that. It's surface level. It's based for people that just want to chill. You know what I mean? He gives the vibes for those settings. You know what I'm saying? And besides that, he's not an actual artist, bro. I think that's been exposed, and now he's just going through it, bro. He's really going through it. Especially with the suing thing. Like, bro, how you gonna be all in your feelings, but you sued, bro? Like, you sued, bro. You sued. You over here talking, y'all, bro. You're suing, gang. Like, what do you expect niggas to be on? Yo, if anyone's really siding with you, like, I'll look at you
on these records.
I'll look at you funny, bro.
And a lot of them are just recycling these same exact cadences and deliveries. And this song here is no different. And it's sad because I do think Drake is still an incredible rapper. I don't want to make this a complete Drake hate video. There's a lot of redeemable qualities to his penmanship. Yes, he uses the same flow, but that flow can sound good at times. Yeah. This rhyme scheme is respectable where he's rhyming the exact same word for the entire song, except his mentor Lil Wayne did it way better on his song Bloody Mary, with wittier punchlines, better wordplay, and a lot more energy in his delivery.
Suicide is a suicide. Like suits and ties, magic, proof, goodbye.
I mean, this is how you know Kendrick Lamar was rapping from Drake's perspective at the beginning of 616 in LA, because it's that same type of repeated delivery with each bar. But anyways, I appreciate
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad you actually said that, because if you go to 616 in LA, yeah, that first whole verse was about, like, in Drake's perspective. That whole first verse was in Drake's perspective. And you can see how Kendrick was rapping. He was talking about, like, the content he was talking about, everything that Drake be rapping about. So it's like, there you go. And that's why, you know what I mean, it sounded repetitive. But then when you switched it up, you know what I mean, he really started laying it down, bro.
you guys sticking with me. With that being said, let's get into this new song. So Drake starts it off rapping, "The summer is over, I missed it. Barrel with smoke and I kissed it." That barrel with smoke obviously being in reference to the smoke he had for Kendrick throughout the entire summer. And him saying he missed the summer could be in reference to the fact that he missed his mark this summer. This summer didn't go the way he planned for it to go. Or he literally missed the summer, like he was supposed to go on vacation. He was alluding to that throughout this beef in Family Matters in the Heart Part 6. And even before this beef, he said he was taking a break from music, maybe with some summer plans, but the summer's now over and he definitely missed out on those summer plans thanks to Kendrick Lamar. He even posted a picture on his Instagram right after he was.
Bro, how you gonna, like, one thing about that, like, how you gonna say you're gonna take a vacation, but then announce an album? You know what I mean? Like, have an album in the way. You feel me? Like, this is where he messed up. Like, as soon as he announced that PNB Drake, I knew it wasn't even gonna. I knew for a fact, like, I felt like it wasn't gonna, at least in 2024, it wasn't gonna drop, because it would have got stepped on heavy, bro. So it's like, and he was supposed to release it around when GNX got released, so there was definitely gonna be some comp right there, 1000%, man. But he did not end up releasing it, and now he's over here doing a freestyle.
Released the Heart Part 6, which said "Good Times, Summer Vibes up next." I don't think those 100 gig songs were sufficient for the summer vibes Drake was looking for, but maybe that's also what he means. He missed the mark on those songs. Then he raps about Ferris, his home designer, showing him renders for his new home in Texas. Rapping, "Ferris showed us the renders for Texas. It's unrealistic. Cut him a check because I hate reviewing the budgets and limits." Then he raps, "The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know this stuff is personal to us and it wasn't just business." I don't know what gimmicks he's referring to. The only gimmicks I can recall were the ones from Drake himself, trolling relentlessly on Instagram throughout this entire beef as Kendrick was silent. Drake, Chubbs, and a bunch of OVO affiliates were trolling Kendrick and his team for his silence. Drake used Tupac and Snoop Dogg AI vocals, taunting Kendrick. He was posting selfies with Compton College sweaters, and now he's filing lawsuits over rap beef streaming numbers. So you tell me where the gimmicks came from, but I'm assuming he's talking about Not Like Us, the PDF file allegations, and the world falling in love with it, meaning that the world fell in love with that song and made it #1. And him saying, "Even my brothers got tickets, seemed like they loved every minute," is in reference to the fact that a lot of people who Drake was close to in the past, like LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, even SZA, Rick Ross, all of these guys were at Kendrick's pop-out concert watching him perform that diss track 6 times in a row. And then Drake emphasizes that this stuff was personal to him, it wasn't just business. He rapped, "Just know this stuff is personal to us, it wasn't just business." Then he discusses Kendrick's Meet the Grams when he raps, "Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious." Obviously, that entire song being an analysis and dissection of every flaw that Drake has within his character, pointing those flaws out to all of his family members, his son, his mom.
Bro, it's so obvious. Like, this man literally was on stream last week, drunk as hell. You got drinking problems, gambling problems, bro. Like, what you be doing? What you be showing? Like, everything is surface level. Everything we can find online, what he was talking about, bro. And also, I'm like, bro, if you just see, like, literally, if you just look at your music and what you talk about, bro, it's like, it's right there. It's right there. So it's like, yeah, nah, Drake is finished. Like, I don't know why people Drake is finished, bro. This is actually kind of, because I was on the side where I was like, yo, he could come back. He could really come back. I'm not like, gang, he could come back. Drake is finished, bro. Like, I don't see him coming back. I really don't.
Obviously, that entire song being an analysis and dissection of every flaw
He's,
that
like,
Drake
in his
has within his
bag,
character, pointing those flaws out to all of his family members, his son, his mom, his dad. Drake is saying that activity is suspicious. Then he raps, "People were never happy for me when I ran up the digits or when I'm breaking records still as I guzzle a Guinness," which is actually a pretty dope bar, since Guinness being like the Guinness World Records, but also being like the beer, a Guinness. So he's guzzling a beer casually as he's breaking all these records. But it's interesting that he notes that people were never happy for him when he ran up the digits. It's the same sentiment he felt when he won the award from Billboard for Artist of the Decade, and he told Elliott Wilson and B. Dot that he felt like people weren't congratulating him the same way that they would his fellow rap peers, and he attributes it to the fact that he's biracial, saying that when he won Artist of the Decade, no one was making the headline, "A black man won Artist of the Decade." He had similar bars on his 2023 song Wickman, rapping, "White America say I'm becoming a threat, Black America love to remind me what my mama looked like, as if I'd ever forget, I'm never enough. Much to their dismay, I'm leveling up." So yeah, he still feels like while he's breaking these records, people are never truly happy for him, or he doesn't feel like he's enough. Then he reflects on his relationship with his so-called brother who fell in love with
Bro, treat people the way you want to be treated. That's why I gotta say to grown ass nigga Drake, 39, 38 years old Drake. Bro, if you're over here beefing with niggas' wives, bro, sleeping with niggas' girls, like all doing all this stuff on like all the antics that you be pulling on, and then expect congratulations, like expect people to be like, "Yo, Drake, you got this." I like niggas like this, bro. Bro, it's funny. It's funny, like, bro, these niggas really expect it. It's stupid. This is exactly why I wouldn't react to something like that, because it's like, all right, cool. I listened to 30 seconds. I already knew what this was gonna be about, bro. But now I'm, you know what I mean, watching this breakdown, I'm glad I am.
With the gimmicks and got tickets to the show, aka the pop-out show, when he raps, "Remember when we were trading watches? I gave you that Arabic dial, you gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure convinced the gang this stuff was rooted in love when it isn't." Now, the watch thing could be in reference to LeBron, given both of their love for different expensive watches, and how close Drake and LeBron were in the past.
Drake texts you and like, am I letting you down?
Yeah, what I tell you?
What did you say to him?
You said that I can never let you down.
But I don't know, something feels off to me about...
Yo, when he stuttered on that shit, bro, I always died. Like, I died. And then I remember, who was it? Eminem did the same thing in his little video that he had with the Face Off video with Slim Shady. That was hilarious. I know a lot of people didn't even catch that, but that was funny to me, man. That had me dead, bro.
About Drake rapping about pediatricians. Like, anything with PDF or anything close to the words PDF in a bar should never be mentioned by Drake, at least for the foreseeable future. He continues sending shots at LeBron, saying, "I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition," because LeBron would always attend Drake's OVO Fest in the summer. Now he's abandoning that tradition to attend Kendrick's pop-out show in the summer. Then he raps some bars that I think might actually be directed at Lil Wayne. This might be a bit of a reach, but Drake rapped, "Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with the distance. Figured we was always going to be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken, the loyalty wasn't a given." The cold shoulders he gave in the Hamptons is in relation to Drake attending Michael Rubin's white party this summer. This was right on the heels of the beef, and Drake was pictured at this white party with his eyes looking like he aged 40 years in the span of just one summer. And another person in attendance at this party was Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne went on Instagram Live after this party to say that only a few people came up to show him love at the party. He named Glorilla. I forget who else he named. Tom Brady, I think. But he had emphasized that a lot of people in the industry didn't come to, you know, say what's up to him, except for Glorilla and Tom Brady, which is weird because Drake, his protege, was at this same party. He didn't make any reference to Drake, and a couple weeks later we saw him rocking an XO chain given to him by The Weeknd, who was famously beefing Drake just a few months prior. Drake and Lil Wayne have been distanced, at least in the public eye, a lot more in recent times than they were back in the Young Money days, and people speculated that Wayne kind of picked sides throughout this whole beef, especially when recently he just said that he spoke to Kendrick Lamar about the Super Bowl, telling him to kill it. I definitely hope, of all people, Drake is not beefing with Weezy. We already lost his collabs with Rick Ross, and
yeah, that'll be bad. That'll be bad. If he was talking about Lil Wayne there, yeah, that'll be bad. That'll be worse. But I'm gonna finish off right there. Yo, that was a great breakdown. I gotta watch the rest so I know what he was talking about with everything. I don't know everything, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely gotta watch the rest of this. I'm putting this in the description below. You can go watch the full video. You already know I'm coming back with the reactions. Let me know what I should react to next. Hey, yo, subscribe if you're new. We almost at 8K. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that subscribe. I hope each and every one of y'all have a blessed day. It's been your boy Ray, signing out. Peace.